I am writing a narrative about Niani. Niani was the imperial capital city of the Empire of Mali, which was founded in 1235 by Sunjata Keita. My narrative is not based on a true story. It's actually a fiction. Um, uh, a fiction. Even if Niani has existed and it is part of the West African history in a very important way, because it was, after all, an imperial capital, I chose to write my narrative based on an event, a historical event that would truly take place in Niani, which is exactly the sacking of the city of Niani in 1535, 1545. So it's important for my narrative to be understood properly. Yeah, it was 1545, the sacking of by the Songhai Empire of the capital, imperial capital city of the former Empire of Mali, called Niani. So my narrative is simply based on my imagination, how I see events taking place, knowing that in 1545 there will be a serious sacking of and destruction of the imperial city. So from then on, and from that point, I just decided to create these personas and create these people that would take their travel, that would leave the city before such an event takes place. But it is really just a fiction, my narrative. But it is absolutely based on a city that still exists in 2026, although the capital city was fully destroyed by 1670, fully destroyed. It is absolutely clear that it is an important imperial capital because Sunjata Keita, its founder, was born there, and also Kanku Musa, one of the wealthiest men who traveled with a certain amount of quantity of gold at his time, which was the 14th century actually. And Mansa Musa happened to be the grandnephew of Sunjata Keita, a man of such a historical importance for being the founding father of the imperial empire of capital of the Empire of Mali, the city of Niani, but also of the rules of the Kurukufanga, which allowed him to rule peacefully and with structure throughout the time that he ruled. And his grandnephew, 77 years later, came to take power as well and ruled beautifully and rebuilt the palaces with gold windows, silver windows, and so on, and embellished embellished the palace, and built more palaces, and enriched the kingdom at the time, and it was known as the Golden Age of the imperial city of Niani and the empire of the former Empire of Mali. So my story has nothing to do with any political aspect or any aspect in that matter. I am simply writing a beautiful story about a grandmother who decided to save herself before the sacking and everything that's going to happen to the city of Niani will happen. And so that's the base of my narrative. It's based on a city that existed. It was called an imperial capital city then, but now the city of Niani still exists. It is a small village, but it's not really that small. You can Google it. It's in Guinea, by the border between Mali and Guinea, and it's in the Mandé region. And since Mali is Mandé as well, so it's normal that it's at the border side. And so that's basically the story about the existence of Niani. Niani does exist. Niani existed as an imperial capital for the former empire of Mali. Niani still exists today in the country of Guinea as a city, and Niani city can be googled and found, and anyone can look on Google and any of these pages to read what's available already about the history of the city of Niani. Now, Niani has two significance. Words can have a duality, so it can mean also hardship, but that's not what my narrative is about. My narrative is actually sort of inspired by James Cameron Avatar, and the nature and the innovation and the AI and the technology that got involved, and trying to imagine the animals and the nature that was available then, because they're going to go through Africa, so they're going to really go through the Congo and see all the green areas and the animals. So that's why we already see the presence of the animals, and that's why Niani was also important for Sundiata, because of its natural favors. So this is about beauty, this is about animals, this is about a piece of history, this is about people who wants to save themselves, this is about prevention, this is Niani is everything put together, and but based on a place that existed, that still exists, but my narrative is a total fiction. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.